Gus Mohawk says, in order, who are the top three quarterbacks you want at Nebraska? Also, Cal McCord followed Jalen Lloyd and a couple other Huskers on IG.
Well,
Who you guys' top three picks at quarterback? Who would you like to see?
One, I'll go with the kid from Washington State.
Cam Ward.
Two, I would like to see the kid from Toledo on there, but I'm just wishing, my wish. Three, if I had to, if I couldn't get those and I had to pick somebody, it'd probably be my last one would probably be Ohio State quarterback.
Cal McCord, yeah.
Mm.
By the way, there was a report from Pete Nakos, the transfer portal reporter on 3. He said that Kyle McCord doesn't want to play for a lesser Big Ten team and doesn't want to play Ohio State, doesn't want to play against him. That's very interesting. Because
go to Notre Dame. No, can't go there.
Well, I mean, if those are truly wishes of his, and I wouldn't blame them if they were, how much do those wishes talk if money is talking louder than that? Like, I don't want to play against my former team, maybe. But if you're getting, a significant amount more money, then throw that to the side. So it's kind of interesting, obviously, the transfer portal era and what it's going to bring. I don't know. Obviously, those aren't great signs for Nebraska, but basically everything else, you can bet on this stuff. The betting odds for Kyle McCord is Nebraska. So it's really interesting. There seems to be a strong connection there, and I think that'd be great. But it would be also it'd be a different offense. He's not a guy with a whole lot of wheels to him. He's a definitely by far pass first quarterback. Obviously, having Marvin Harrison Jr. helped his numbers out. His numbers look fantastic. But that was at Ohio State. This would be at Nebraska. How would it translate? But I will tell you this: it would be one of the top quarterbacks in the portal. They would probably be getting into that $1 to $2 million range if you care about that stuff. But I think that would be, that would certainly address the issue of trying to go out and find a starter.
So your guy, number one guy is McCord?
I like the conservative Husker just pointed out, Will Howard might be a better fit at Nebraska. I like Will Howard because he does have a little bit of legs to him. I do think that would be ideal if I could just pick a quarterback and just run with an offense at Nebraska. I would like a guy that is a dual threat, but to Terrell's point, a legit dual threat, a guy that can pass, not a running quarterback that we're trying to convince ourselves is a quarterback. But I think I don't think you can be too choosy here when you're in a position at Nebraska. Remember the last Ohio State transfer quarterback they passed on, a guy by the name of Joe Burrow. It ended up being pretty good. If Ohio State has a guy, especially a guy that's played and put up numbers like that, yeah, if you're Nebraska, you don't pass on him. That's kind of the ranking system of the world. I know you'd like to see yourselves as equals to Ohio State, but that's not the case.
How many years does he have left?
Should have a few. Let me double check.
Yeah, because I think that's important to see. You want to see how many years. I mean, with Daniel Kalen coming in, and some of these younger guys that in the room that we have right now, I'm going to say it, I'm going to reiterate it. You've got to get a guy in there that's willing to be a coach and help those younger guys out, that's willing to build the room. He'll have a lot of responsibility under his hat if he comes in, especially if we're paying him $1 million to $2 million a year. So responsibility will be on him to lead, but also to teach, to lead by example, to teach young guys how to play the game. Our guys don't know necessarily how to play the game. But I'm going to give you two guys that I think are sleepers that could enter the portal, and you might not. To me, I think they're perfect fits because they have years left under their belt. But I think Malik Murphy is the odd man out at Texas. I think with Arch Manning, and he's just the odd man out. And I think he jumps in the portal. I think you got to take a real hard look at Malik Murphy. Also think you got to look at Dante Moore from UCLA. You got to take a hard look because they fit the mold on what we're trying to do or what we saw all last year. There's no way that you could just be a drop back quarterback and win at Nebraska because you don't have the receivers. So, unless you're willing to go out there and get some PT peers at receiver that can really get open and they know how to get open, and you ain't got to teach them, on the fly how to play the position of wide receiver. You better go out and get some receivers if you got to drop back quarterback. But if you got a guy that can create with his legs, that can extend drives and then push the ball down the field 2 different ways, that's a guy that's dangerous, especially if he takes care of the ball.
Kyle McCord, by the way, a rare 4-year player in today's age. You would think, okay, what about the COVID year? Why are guys playing until they're 25? He's 21 years old. He has 1 season of eligibility remaining because he wasn't here for the COVID year. His first year in college was 2021. He played in each of those, never redshirted, played 2021, 22, and 23, giving him 1 year of eligibility left.
Yeah, the one-hit wonder. It's a no. It's a no for me. It's a no for me. I don't care how good he is. It's a no. Because you get 1 year. Terrell, chime in. You haven't said much.
I like it. I mean, that's what we need, a 1-year guy, so the other guys can learn and possibly, bring back another. I mean, you probably need 2 quarterbacks, but I like the 1-year wonders because now it gives us an opportunity to win instead of trying to go back with a younger guy and face the same problems that we faced with, because these guys don't have any experience. This is like going back to next year, back the same. You see what I'm saying, Bob?
Well, I think there is something to be said. I mean, Nebraska, especially this year, past the Jeff Sims conversation, got into this. Well, it might not be great, but it's good that he's getting reps and he's getting live reps and he's getting better. And that's fine, like teaching on the fly and all that stuff and learning on the fly. And you've got to get those reps. I get that. But it might be nice just to go into a season not thinking about that, not thinking, okay, well, maybe if we give him enough reps, it'll get better at this. To think, okay, we've got a quarterback. And then, like Terrell is saying, too, get one in the stable. Or maybe you believe in Purdy that can take over in 2 years for Kyle McCord. Like I said, though, I don't care how many years he has. I don't like the idea of overlooking a quarterback that could be a game changer for your locker room or for your team. And Nebraska needs to win this year. I mean, this is we talk about the kind of forgiveness we can have for a year 1 of a coach. It goes away now. You've got to win some games this year. Yeah, it's no longer an excuse. You got to start building this program, and I think that Kyle McCord would be a great jump start to the program. Or Cam Ward. I mean, Cam Ward's got 1 year. There's a few guys with 1 year left that I would not turn away.
I don't know. I think we should we can kind of go by the example, right? The example was last year we went and got a guy. Now, he was a 2-year guy and didn't work. So I don't know. I'm not saying that you can't do it or it shouldn't be done. I'm just saying it. In the case of this rebuild, if you are going to do it, you better have some weapons for him to use at his disposal. Because do we have a Marvin Harrison Jr. anywhere?
No.
Do we have anybody close to a Marvin Harrison Jr.?
We got a guy that's tied with Marvin Harrison for the long runs, long catches. So,
50-yard catches.
Yeah, 3 50-yard catches. So, hey, we got a guy in the conversation with Marvin. So,
but I will tell you, we can joke about that all we want. A quarterback like this, a gunslinger with Jalen Lloyd will be fun. Jalen Lloyd, I obviously has a lot of development to do, but he's already, as we've seen, a proven home run threat. And somebody that, can deliver the ball in stride, that sort of thing. You might see more than 3 this next season.
I mean, like I said, I love Jalen Lloyd. I mean, I think the kid's a phenomenal player. He's going to be a great player, great track guy. And he's got plenty of time to develop. Yeah, I agree with you. You better get somebody to deliver the ball, but I think, you want to build continuity. Here's, between a receiver and a quarterback, they build continuity, meaning the quarterback knows after he's thrown the ball to a guy 100, 200, 300 times where he can put a ball and where a guy can go catch it. How a guy that doesn't catch low balls, you might not want to throw it low. But if you get a one-hit wonder, let's say he builds continuity with those guys. What happens next year? You're right back in the same problem. Now you shopping for another one-hit wonder, or did your guys from behind develop? Well, we know they probably didn't develop like they should if they was actually playing, because of if this guy plays the whole year, what development did they get? Unless they got a great quarterbacks coach, what development did they really get? But they got to watch a guy come in and be good. I mean, I'll give him whatever good is. I mean, what's the benefit?
Well, it's just interesting because I think it's adjusting to the new world. I think there's going to be, unless you are really good at developing quarterbacks and you've got young guys in the system and you're getting big time recruits, if you're Nebraska and you're willing to pay $1 to $2 million a year for a rental quarterback, you're probably going to have a better option in the transfer portal than you will with homegrown talent more often than not.
I would agree with that 100%. I just hope that the options we get, that it's at least a 2-year deal with a guy. If we're gonna go out and get one of those big timers, get it. And if you are, just put some people around you. I don't care about McCord. I think he's a good quarterback. So Husker P says get McCord and Fleming, problem solved. It doesn't matter who you get. You better get people around them. You better go in the transfer portal and get a running back that can push that room big time.